Welcome to Spartan Sports Central. We have a new guest on the show. It is my newborn son, Miles, who is 6 weeks old. So, Miles, what do you think? What do you think about the winter season here? You think the boys basketball team is going to beat West Columbia on Friday? What's going to happen? What about the soccer team? You ready for the Spartan Cup to come to Stafford? And Coach Maldonado is going to be in here later. They're going to make the playoffs again? No? Okay. What about girls basketball? They open district on Friday. You ready for that? All right, yeah, Miles doesn't have too many opinions yet on Stafford sports, but we hope in future years we'll have him back and he'll have a thing or two to say about it. So, some commentary. We'll have him return on the show, definitely when he has some things to say or when he can actually say anything. And he's the first guest we've had to eat on the show. He had a bottle a little while ago, so he's, that's a first. So we're really, his mom and I are really proud of him, and we're glad that he's on the program. So he says, go Spartans. Hello and welcome to the December episode of Spartan Sports Central, our first winter episode of 2018-19. We have a great episode for you. We welcome Stafford boys basketball coach David Montano and Stafford soccer coaches Ruben Perez and Angel Maldonado. Our player profile this week is Spartan girls basketball player Anaya Mackey. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
All right, so you guys have done a lot of traveling. You were down in Hidalgo for the Hidalgo tournament. Tell me how that went.
Oh, well, it is a long trip. It's for us, it's about a 5.5 hour trip, and it went well. It was good. It was a good tournament. It's a 2014 tournament, basically 5A and 6A programs.
Okay.
So it was a good experience for us to play that kind of talent, really good shooting, disciplined teams.
So the first game, you defeat the team from your hometown by 60 points. So you may not want to go to the high school reunion now, but yeah.
Well, we played really well. We shot the ball very well and played very good, solid defense. And it just we had a lot of balls bounce our way.
Okay, of course that was Donna North 6A, and I joke with you, Coach, but I know you went to Donna High School, which is their rival. So they're actually, in actuality, they're probably glad you beat their rival by that much.
Yes.
And then you played a Hidalgo, which I saw in Dave Campbell's Texas basketball, picked to win their district. You beat them by 1 in overtime. They're another 4A school. And you beat FAR San Juan Alamo. Of course, a lot of people know them as PSJA. You beat them by 1 point as well.
Yes, it was playing Hidalgo, the host school at State Farm Arena. It's a big thing, and they get up to play. They're always in the playoffs. They usually vying or in the regional tournament. So it was a good game all the way around. So it was a good experience for us to be able to play tight games like that and see what comes out and make those decisions and make proper decisions while we were playing.
And I know South San Antonio, you lost a tough one, 44-40, but anything you take away from that game?
Sure did. Really good program from San Antonio. It could have gone either way. We shot the ball well, played well, and they shot it well late, where we had some miscues, but that game could have gone either way, and unfortunately didn't go our way. But playing a really good San Antonio team like that was good for us as well. So
Friday you have your your second home game of the season, and it's been a while because the home opener was November 27th. That was a win over Houston Worthing. So you play the Roughnecks of West Columbia High School, and they were picked second in their district, which includes your former school was picked first, Lamarck. So you probably know a thing or two about West Columbia basketball, huh?
Yes. They do a really good, solid program. They're always in the playoffs. Matter of fact, Stafford beat them last year in the first round of the playoffs. Okay. I would say. And that was a really tight game as well. So it's never a walk through. They're always tough. formidable opponent. They're always got big size, and it's they do a good job there.
And what about the leadership on your team? I know you've been through 10 or more games. What do you think about your leadership?
We're coming about, and I think it's all coming together. New system, new coaching staff. So I think it's everybody's is buying into the program, what we're trying to do. It's going well. I think that we're going in the right direction. We've got a tough schedule, so the record itself may not be what it should be, but we're not worried about what happens in November, December. We're just worried about what comes about in district and playoffs. So.
Speaking of district, next Friday you get Fulshear. I guess that's at Fulshear?
It is at Fulshear.
And then you go to their place to open district, new school and everything. Any thoughts about going there?
Yes, it's different. They're out there and they gather some Katy kids, some Royal kids. I think it's going to be, from my understanding, I have yet to watch them, but they're really, really good program. They started playing some basketball last season. So everybody's saying really good things about them. So we're pretty excited about that, and eventually we'll get to watch them a little bit before we play them.
And then you have a freshman who's pretty talented as well.
We do. He is Corian Haynes is a solid basketball player. He's got really good basketball IQ, doing a great job for us. He's learning as he goes. Now he's only a freshman, so we know that he's going to make some mistakes, but that just goes with youth. So we know that he's going to end up being a really good basketball player for us.
And then, do you have some players that have been coming back that didn't start the season with you?
We have. We have some kids that have come back to Stafford that were elsewhere. Of course, they're coming back to Stafford. So we'll see where we're at with that. We just kind of implement them slowly, and hopefully we can, they can make the adjustment back to a new coaching staff, obviously from the old when they were here. So we'll see.
And then your assistant coach, Coach Sanchez, won the hashtag Committed to SMSD award, which for those of you who don't know, that's something that the school board gives out every month. The school board gives that out, and it's not just for athletics, it's for his contributions to the school district. And then prior to him, we've never had anyone win it who's been there less than 2 years, but he was the recipient this week. So any thoughts on him?
Yes, and that's one of the things that when I took the job, I asked that I needed it. If I could bring my own assistant. He does a great job in and out of the classroom. He's a great teacher. As a matter of fact, he was my mentor when I first started teaching. Okay. So he's been with me in several schools. He teaches math. He's a math teacher. Okay. So I learned from him, and I'm still learning from him. He does a great job in the classroom, and he does a great job in the athletic area as well. So he doesn't shortchange any of them. He teaches like he coaches and coaches like he teaches.
Okay, so it's great, obviously to have you here, and then if you hadn't been here, it's probably safe to say he may not have come here.
Probably right.
So it's great that we got both of you guys here, and you're doing great things with our kids on and off the court. So, all right, well, it's always a pleasure, Coach. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so next up is Anaya Mackey, our player profile. We have a great feature for you today. Stafford girls basketball player Anaya Mackey is a star in the classroom and on the court. In fact, she sealed a victory over rival Fort Bend Marshall with a steal in the final seconds of the game.
It may be the holiday season, but we're also only starting the girls' basketball season. So let's check in with the appropriately numbered number 1, Anaya Mackey.
She has a lot of heart, a lot of hustle. She is just relentless in her attack to the game. She loves the game, probably the most sweetest kid that I've ever coached, but also the one with the most tenacity.
I enjoy playing with my friends and making my coach proud of us, and when we win the game, and then knocking down my shots to improve, and then contributing in the game for my team. My goals this season is to continue knocking down my threes and helping on so that we can finish district and be first, and then to get to regionals.
The reality of being a high school athlete means not only playing your heart out on the boards, but also devoting the same effort to your schoolwork, which is not easy, especially when your favorite subjects are
math and science. I mean, really, it's not tough for me because, I pay attention in class. I actually really like being in class, and I like my teachers, so I like to pay attention. So it's really easy for me. I finish my work in class, so I really don't be having homework like that. So it's easy for me just to go to practice and finish practice and be able to go home and rest. If I get a scholarship, I would love to keep up with this, but really, I want to be an architect, so I wanted to, focus on that field.
So, when you're an architect, what will you be carrying with you from your basketball days?
My threes.
I would tell her to make sure that she tries to find and get a good quality education. That's first. Basketball won't be around forever, but the knowledge and skill set that she gets from attending school, going to class regularly, and trying to keep herself motivated to perform at the best level that she possibly can. That's what I would tell her and all my players, past, present, and future.
And finally, Anaya, any closing words for our audience?
For the other teams to be prepared, because we are coming hard.
For Spartan Sports Central, this is Randall Williams.
Stay tuned throughout the season as Mackie and her teammates look to win the program's first district title in 9 years. Next up is our interview with Stafford boys soccer coach Ruben Perez. All right, welcome back to the show. We have Stafford boys soccer coach Ruben Perez here to talk about the beginning of the season. Good to see you again, Coach.
Great to see you again, Mike.
All right, so you got a little dynasty going here. You got the 2 regional semifinal appearances in the past 3 years. So what's in store for this year?
Well, we've talked about it. We want to at least get back to that point and hopefully go through the threshold and break through and be able to advance further than what we have these last 2 or 3 years. It has been very special. I've really enjoyed the work that the boys have put in, and it's not easy to do that 2 out of 3 years, and we're hoping to break through even further.
Because both times you've come up against Center, so what would it take to defeat them?
More than likely, we'd have to defeat Center or possibly Palestine came back into our region, and they're usually in the same district with Center, and they're both very good programs, and they've had a lot of success through the last few years, and I would think in order to do that, we'd probably have to beat one or possibly both.
What do you attribute your winning tradition to?
I think it's kind of what you're saying, right? What you said right there, a tradition. It's kind of a way to the guys who kind of see the guys before them, and they kind of realize what it takes, the work that has to be put in, and I think they gratify that and with the challenge, and they just kind of keep building off of that. And tradition is kind of just that's how it's made. It's how it's built. You just kind of go over past success, and you try to at least match, if not go further than.
Do you have a lot of returners and seniors coming back?
We actually do. We have about eight seniors coming back. We have 10 players who either started last year or played significant time, and that's kind of one of the things we're able to do as well. We try to get some of our younger players involved early and help us out at times, so that way they're part of the experience and they understand, and they're not necessarily coming in as seniors, just seeing their first varsity action.
And what about Jesus Iniguez? He recently won a $5,000 scholarship from the Houston Texans.
Yeah, Jesus coming back for his 4th year. He's one of the very few freshmen that we've had come all the way through from freshman year on to be able to play. And it'll be a 4-year letterman, and we're expecting a lot of leadership from him and a lot of experience, obviously, from him to help us do what we need to do this year.
And then last year he had the shutout game in the playoffs, and the next game he goes and scores 2 goals for the victory.
Right, yeah, he's a real unique talent because his first couple of years with us, we needed a goalkeeper, and he was able to fit that and play well for us there. The next couple of years, his junior and senior year this year, we're expecting him to be on the field a lot more and able to provide goals and provide leadership on the field.
All right, so like in the early season, I know you have the Spartan Cup the first weekend in January and some other games. Talk about your non-district schedule.
Yeah, we'll start out with our Spartan Cup. It'll be January 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We're also going to play in the Huffman tournament the following week. where we're going to see some East Texas teams from our region who we may encounter in the playoffs or have a chance to see that we don't get to see very often. Other 4As in the East Texas region. We're also going to play El Campo and Bay City from the first district that we would face in our first round of playoffs. If we're able to get in, and so we're pretty pleased with our non-district schedule, and our district schedule will start a little earlier this year because we've added a couple of more teams.
So what do you think about district? Do you guys have a chance to win district again?
I feel like we do. It's going to be, it'll be tough as always. We added Fulsher, who's eventually going to be a 6A program. I think they're going to be very good. Of course, we have Royal and Sealy, who have been with us the last few years. We've added Rice Consolidated and Columbus, and then we also have Needville in there with us.
Oh, wow, so a lot of teams.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I appreciate you being on the show, Coach. Thanks as always.
All right,
All right, next up, we'll talk to girls soccer coach Angel Maldonado. All right, welcome back to the show. Coach Maldonado is a Stafford graduate who is entering his third year as the head girls soccer coach. Welcome back to the show,
Thank you
Coach.
for having me here.
All right, well, your third season, are you starting to feel more comfortable as the head coach?
Yes, I definitely do. There's things that I did my first year that was, that I I'm going back to, certain things that I did there that worked. And then last year, I tried a couple of other things. So, of course, I'm trying to find my best way to coach. And it also depends on the players that you have. So certain things that worked my first year and certain things that worked last year, I want to implement that this year, and I feel much more comfortable as a head coach this year than the years past.
And then I know last year you had kind of a young team, so what about this year's team?
That's one of the things that I've been working on. Some of these girls started as freshman year as on the varsity team. Now they're juniors, so they definitely have improved their skills and definitely stronger. So I feel their experience on the varsity level these past 2 years will definitely show better this year, and hopefully we can make it out to the playoffs again.
And who are some of your returning starters?
There's several actually, but we have June Lee. She's coming back. We also have Natalie Rivas. She's a sophomore. Crystal Tavares, she's a junior. Ruth, this is her third year she made it on the varsity team her freshman year, so she's a junior. And there's several others, but definitely these returners are their skill has improved, and honestly, I feel like this season should be pretty good.
And you made the playoffs both years?
Yeah, we made it. This year it's a little different just because we kind of changed our district a little bit. So there's more teams in district, and it's going to be challenging to get out to playoffs, but I'm confident that the girls will make it out again. And
who are some of the newcomers on the team?
Newcomers, there's a freshman. Her name is Karen Ramos. She has good skill, and she's been playing outside of school, and she looks promising. Jacqueline Soto, she was on JV last year. She's been putting in a lot of work, and I hope big things from her too.
Did you have a good JV team last year?
Last year is always with JV is always we get girls that are beginners, and so we kind of grow them out in terms of their skill. It just kind of improves throughout the season, and so we're trying to get them to play more games. That way they have more experience on the field. And but the JV team, they're putting a lot of work right now. We just selected the varsity and the JV team this week, or actually last week, and they look promising as well.
What are the team strengths for the varsity?
I want to say that in the past years, I've focused a lot on the defense, and so I think defense we're gonna be pretty strong this year. And but I also there's a couple of things that I'm gonna do differently. and I want to focus more of my energy on the offense. That way we can get more scoring and lessen the pressure on the defense.
And what are your thoughts on going up to the Brenham Cup at the beginning of the season?
It's going to be a good experience. This is the first time we go. I don't know if the previous coach ever took him to the Brenham tournament, but I kind of always choose different tournaments just to see what's out there. It's a 4A tournament, so I want to see the competition that's all over Texas. So it's a good tournament to go preview some teams.
And then you have a tough non-district schedule too?
Yes, I try to switch it up a little bit here and there with different teams, just so that the girls get used to different types of teams. You know, some teams are a little bit more attacking, some teams are more defending. And I always like playing 5A, 6A schools just to give them that edge on what to expect for playoffs and stuff like that.
All right, well, thanks, Coach. Appreciate
Thank
you
you
being on the program. All right, that does it for Spartan Sports Central in 2018. We hope you have a happy new year, and we'll see you in 2019.
This program was produced on the Stafford campus of Houston Community College.